Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother has went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
What's your, is it deemed?
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here, and hello to all my moderators. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so at this moment. It's greatly appreciated. Tonight we are getting into Gypsy Rose and her huge announcement that she is pregnant. Thank you, Being Bio Girl. I don't think my back's going to be completely normal until after the baby's born, but I appreciate that. And I hope you're doing well and everyone else in chat is doing well. And those on replay, you as well. I hope you're doing well. So let's just get right into it. So first thing I want to share is this article that says Gypsy Rose Blanchard told estranged husband Ryan Anderson about her pregnancy immediately. Johnny, how is my sound? I saw you were handing out some tea. Just want to make sure the sound is good. Hey, Melly, Adrian, Angie's here, Tony, Kelly, hello, Glitterbug. Good to see you guys. So Gypsy is a topic that people are really sick of, but at the same time, it's almost like a train wreck that you can't look away from. I think we haven't really touched on her much since she's been out, but we did do a live stream when she was out, and this was months ago, and we wished her the best, and we said, oh, okay, well, I hope, she can overcome, everything that she's been through in life. And I really was on a positive note, sending her off into the world, with her new husband, this reality show that they did together, and just her new life. I was very much in support of her. And then things just started getting strange. I support her getting her teeth fixed. I support her getting a nose job, things like that, make her feel better, like more power to her. But things were just getting a little bit crazy with her. I think she wished her mother a happy Mother's Day or something like that. It's just very weird behavior. And it was like, oh, every time I seen the headline, every time there was a video made about it, I was like, okay, she's a little not right because of her past, because of her upbringing, because of prison life. Let me just give her the benefit of the doubt. And then we all kept saying well, I hope she doesn't really jump into having kids with Ryan right away. Seems like it would be better for her to be, on her own and adjust to out of prison life by herself, taking care of herself and her new marriage. Yeah, Marshall Dove said ATS News and Gypsy could be prego pals, right? We're both pregnant. It is weird. I thought about that too. So, and then all of a sudden it was, excuse me, her and Ryan were on the outs, and he's controlling, and he was trying to change her, and all these crazy headlines. And then their reality show came out that they were recording together, and people saw firsthand, oh, wow, yeah, he does seem a bit controlling. It was people who were kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt at first and were kind of sympathetic with him, started seeing, just some alarming behaviors in their reality show. And I haven't watched every episode. I've caught things here and there. I will say that like a lot of people just were like not really in favor of him. Even though they might not have been in favor of her either. It was just kind of like, he's kind of, weird. He's kind of controlling. There's just something about him I don't like. Remember when people were saying like, she looks like, oh no, Ryan looks like Gypsy's mother, people were saying. Miss True Crime says, I feel she played him in the show, though, humiliated him, in my opinion. I mean, even before she was out of prison, remember, they were like arguing about her getting in touch with Ken, who is the guy that she's with right now, who allegedly is the father of this child. Her and Ryan got in an argument before they were even legally married about her, missing Ken or something to do with Ken. So it just seemed like there was like some unfinished business between Gypsy and Ken, even before she was out of prison, even before she was living with Ryan. It's just it was a red flag right off the bat. Like I was like, oh, I just don't know, how is this going to work out? She's in the real world. And now she's probably going to reconnect with this guy who she was infatuated with. Let me just take a sip, guys. Just very, dramatic stuff going on. He starts posting on his TikTok, which we'll take a look at. I know Johnny says, poor guy. Yeah, they got a dog together. And then it came out like Gypsy started trying to expose Ryan for saying he didn't want the dog anymore. It was just very weird. Kelt says this isn't going to end well. And now she is birthing a hostage. She abandoned her baby with Ken's mom. She'll abandon her baby with Ken's mom like she did with her puppy. Right. She walked away from that puppy without a care in the world. When I saw him talking to her like a child about the puppy, I knew it was going to go downhill. She had a dream about Ken or something. Yeah. She can't be still. She's either chronically online at the mall or eating fast food, no desire to improve her life, go to school, get a job at Chick-fil-A or anything that hires felons. Yeah, and it's like at this point, we've given it, chances for her to kind of do something. And all she's done is dye her hair, get a nose job, fix her teeth, which is all fine and dandy. It's just, I just think it's too soon for her to be pregnant. Again, there's people who are like, let her be happy. Lucia, good to see you. Melly, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Where is it? It's somewhere on here. I feel a lot is just for show on both sides, in my opinion. Yeah, as soon as Ryan started getting, thank you so much. And welcome to that new member. And if you've received that membership, Melly is in chat for you to thank. So thank you so much. Marshall Dove says Ryan gets on my nerves, but I feel bad for him. That's kind of how I'm at. It's like there's something like about him, but I feel bad for him. He was sort of a pawn, and a lot of people are like, she's using people just like her mother used people. And then, like I said, there's other people on the other extreme that are like, just let her be happy. What about Christy? I'm not watching the show, just getting recaps. Thought her dad and Christy would steer her right. It seemed at first they were not in favor of her getting married right away. At first it seemed like, they were going to be supportive. But it wasn't something that they were like, oh yes, we love him. And then I guess people are coming out now saying that Christy has like a weird obsession with Ken or something. I don't know. I haven't really followed the show Okay, yes, Christy was for Ken. Yes, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know. She does act like a teenager and don't think she will handle being a mom very well. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a huge wake-up call. Yeah, she isn't responsible at all. I agree, being bio girl. There was something also that somebody had said about all that. Hold on, let me just read some of the comments. Or let's read this article and then we'll get back into our little discussion. So apparently she told Ryan immediately. Gypsy Rose informed estranged husband Ryan Anderson about her pregnancy immediately, a source tells Us Weekly. Gypsy told him immediately when she found out it was Ken's baby. He didn't believe it at first, the insider says, noting Anderson, 38, was very polite about keeping Blanchard's news private. He has been more than fair and amicable to her. That's what hurts him the most. Their 32-year-old publicly announced her pregnancy on Tuesday, July 9th. I know the rumors have been flying around for quite some time now, and I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant, she said on a YouTube video, which we're going to watch. Ken and I are expecting our first child comes January 2025. According to Blanchard, she and Erker, 31, had not planned to expand their family, but are both very excited for their new chapter. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So there was like some TikTok beef going around, like with somebody that was like criticizing her and Ken. And like she like made some like weird video where she was like telling this girl off, and she was like, sorry that I dated Chad, whatever a Chad is. Usually I thought Chads were like a bad name for a guy, like the frat boy type name. She's like, he doesn't, something along the lines, not quoted verbatim, but like just a cringy video of her saying like, he would never look twice at you. It was just like this very like juvenile, catty, immature, argument that she was having with another TikToker. And then I find out she's pregnant, and all I could think of was like that argument. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this woman's going to be raising a child. She's literally mentally, I would say maybe 14-ish, in my opinion. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. And everyone else who's joined, hit the like button. Thanks for being here. She does smile in all the pics with Ken, but not Ryan. I know she never should have married Ryan. She had feelings for Ken. It was obvious. Blanchard will navigate a pregnancy and a divorce from Anderson simultaneously. She filed for divorce from Anderson in April, and the proceedings are ongoing. Apparently, she's like requesting alimony or some spousal support. So people were saying that he looks like her mother. And did they show Ken yet? Okay, no. And honestly, I don't know what it is. Not in this picture, but when he's wearing a hat, to me, he looks like her father. So there's like pictures of him, especially like the nose and like when he has a hat on, I'm like, he looks like her father and her ex-husband looks like the mother. It's just very weird. I don't know if you guys see it or can try and see it, but it's just odd. He's still partly in love with her, and he feels like Ken stole his life, an insider adds of Anderson. He's been very down about this. It's been very hard for him to get over her, but he's okay. According to the source, Anderson knew Blanchard's announcement was coming, but he still respects her and is not ugly to her. Blanchard married Anderson in 2022 while she was incarcerated. Gypsy Rose and then boyfriend Nicholas Godejohn were arrested in 2015 for the murder of her mother, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard. Dee Dee was found dead of multiple stab wounds in June of that year at the age of 48. And like the other thing too is like I hate looking stupid. And the way that she's been behaving since she's been out, I've just been like, oh gosh, like I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I went on my channel and I wished you well. And I, told everybody. And I know that the video is only at like 6,000 views or whatever, but I think we did a couple of them maybe. Either way, like, I really try to say, like, let's give her a chance. Let's not judge her. She's the way she is because of the way she was raised, like she's also been in prison. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt to adjust. She's in this new marriage. Let's watch it all go down. And then it just started crumbling. And I was like, oh gosh, like, is something bad going to happen, like legally with this girl where I'm going to look like I don't know how to read people, or it's just like you don't want to think that like you give someone the benefit of the doubt and then you're proven that like you never should have done that. So I don't know. It's just been very weird watching her ever since she's been out, and like she getting pregnant within the first year of being out of prison. Like, I think we saw it coming, but we were hoping that like, no, she can't be that stupid. I mean, she's not even divorced yet. There was some TikTok. I don't know if it was a TikTok live on hers, but there was some clip going around where she like says something to Ken about like marriage, something about like being married to him or something. And he was just kind of like, it didn't seem like he's like jumping all over the idea. And I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening, but yeah, and Kelt, that's the other thing that I wanted to say. So Kelt says, adults know if you don't use protection, you can get pregnant. She shouldn't act surprised. I truly think that she trapped Ken. Like, I obviously know it takes two to tango in this whole getting pregnant thing, but I just feel like she is more infatuated with him than he is with her. I think that she needs him just like she needed Ryan more than they needed her. And then by the time Ryan kind of gets caught up in this, like, I love her, all this stuff, she dumps him. He put out some TikTok about, still respecting her and, wanting people to kind of lay off bashing her, which I was really surprised at with everything that she's kind of made him look a fool of, yes, that's what she said. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Something like that in this like TikTok feud that she had with some other TikToker. Yes, that's what it was. Sherry says can't stand her. A lot of people say that. And that's the thing is like, I think that this topic of Gypsy is just not going to go away, even though people want her to go away. It's just, like I said, a train wreck that people are just like glued to, that they're like, I just want to know. Pita Bread said, I'm following all the gossip. Right. I know, me too. It's like, I don't even try to. It's everywhere. It's on my Facebook feed. It's on TikTok. It's on YouTube. Even channels that don't follow true crime, like ones that do like makeup reviews. And I mean, even the Kardashians, I guess, do a collab with her in their new season. Like, she's everywhere. You can't escape it. Whose baby do we think it is? I mean, a lot of people have already questioned that. Who's the father? I saw, oh man, I wish I would have had it on my computer. I saw some meme somebody created. Let's see if I can hold it up. Might not be able to show you guys, but somebody created, remember the Maury show? Somebody imposed Ryan's face on somebody in the chair, Gypsy's face there in the middle, and Ken sitting next to her. And then we got Maury here with the like envelope getting ready to open it. So they're like, I mean, there's jokes going around already about like, who's the father, right? It's a mess. It really is. And I don't want to see her end up exactly, Jada. It's just like, what is going on here? Like, I can't look away. What if it's Ryan's baby? Ooh. I bet you they will do a paternity test, because so many people are going to be like, do these dates line up? And how do you know this, Ken? And they're going to keep trolling her and Ken and Ryan and be like, whose is it? Whose is it? Mac J, good to see you. Yeah, I know the pregnancy timeline. What did it say she filed for divorce? April? I think it said April. But that's still, I mean, that's around the timeline of her getting pregnant, right? She filed for divorce in April. I mean, this must have been pretty quick. Okay, so where am I at reading this? Gypsy Rose and Go to John, now 34, admitted to planning to murder Dee Dee, who allegedly abused her daughter throughout her childhood by claiming Gypsy Rose had fake illnesses. So here, this is where I probably differ a little bit with people who criticize Gypsy. It says who allegedly abused her daughter. I don't think that it's alleged, in my opinion. And again, like, I'm not over here like a huge Gypsy fan. I just know what I see and what I've studied in the case. And I really do think that she was abused her whole life from her mother. I'm just saying, it doesn't justify what her and Go to John did and planned. But I will say, like, in this article, how it says who allegedly, I mean, obviously she was never convicted of child abuse because she was killed. But in my opinion, I just feel like she really was abused. It didn't have to end this way, though. And that's just my opinion. Some people think that the abuse was a lie. I personally don't. And if you think so, then that's fine. I'm open to differences of opinions. Mac J said, I hope it's not Ken's, just so Ryan can be free of Gremlin Rose. I hope it is Ken's. Right. It definitely wouldn't be good if it was Ryan's. You know, like, how could he co-parent with someone who's obviously moved on with Ken? And where would Ken be? He'd be gone, I'm sure. Yeah, I do think that they need to do a paternity test too. It's a 2-week window. The DNA test is necessary. Yes, I agree. Something to this magnitude, you know, her fame, whatever you want to call it, it needs to be, Sherry says, I think it's Ryan's. It needs to be determined for sure. Yeah, her personality is all about 1992 Jerry Springer Ratchet. And part of it is, you know, she was sheltered and kept in almost like Stockholm syndrome by her own mother. And then, you know, never in public schools or any type of school for that socialization. She didn't have like close siblings. She has her half sister that's on her father's side, but it wasn't like she grew up. Oh, I think she has a brother too, a half brother. Either way, you know, you don't learn those social cues and interactions with people when you're kept away from them. And then she goes to prison, and you know, you are the company you keep. And I think she was influenced by, you know, people in prison. So when she gets in this TikTok argument, all I could think of was like, I bet you this is how she's seen interactions in prison and how she learned to deal with conflict in prison. It's just, like I said, if she had taken more time to adjust to things outside of prison before getting pregnant, I really think that would have been the better choice. Donna says, Ryan's got a good reputation. He's a special needs teacher. I trust him a million times more than anything Gypsy says. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. I think Ryan was super cringy. I think so too, Mayla's mom. I really do. Hey, Alex, good to see you. And Alex is doing a live stream, I think at 10:30 tonight. We'll be done by then. But we can hop over there, and it'll be on Chris Watts, the new book that his cellmate has put together. Last thing I saw was a channel that had a receipt showing Ken on Grindr. Grindr? Isn't that the dating site for gay men? Ryan better start working out. Success is the best revenge. It would be nice to kind of see him bounce back. And like, I think someone like Ryan needs like Ozempic or like a stomach. Hey, Roxanne. Being abused can harm a personality cognitively. Yes, my daughter is 31, but still acts young because of trauma when she was a teenager. And there until my dad died, I think that like really forced me to grow up, and that wasn't until I was 30. I was stuck, I would say, like around like an 18-year-old's like mentality and then this took a lot for me to even admit to myself for a long time, like throughout my 20s, because of trauma that I'd gone through. So definitely, that's why I do give her the benefit of the doubt of like the way she handles things and the way she's acting. It's just kind of like, oh, like I wish you wouldn't do it this way, but like I kind of see that you are handling it that way because of your life, and it's unfortunate, but it's like being a mother is either going to make her or break her. And some people have already said she's not going to be able to adjust well to motherhood. I don't want to wish that, and I don't want to speak that into existence, but I could see it going either way, honestly. Like she's either going to be, just going to go downhill from this point and be an even bigger train wreck and also a mother, or it's going to, make her and be like, wow, I got to get my shit together. The way I've been doing things has been wrong. But I just don't have much faith that at this point, I don't know. I feel like she's sort of proved me wrong already. Everything that I've wished for her is like wishing her well. And I just feel like I'm like, oh, I feel like stupid for wishing her well, because it doesn't seem like she's on the right path, but I don't know. She totally used him, aka Ryan. But on the other hand, red flag to the guy that married a girl in prison that that never knew before prison. Right. And his mother, I guess, was like not in favor of this at all, of the marriage, his relationship with Gypsy. Ryan has issues too. Who doesn't though? I'd still trust Ryan over Gypsy or Ken any day. That's how I feel. Like you can see that there's flaws like in their reality show together, and people have been kind of turned off by him. But like you said, everybody's got problems. I don't like her, and I certainly wouldn't turn my back to her. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get her too upset. That's for sure. Okay, I'll get back to your comments. Let's finish this. Gypsy Rose pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in 2016 and was sentenced to 10 years in prison, while Goda John was sentenced to life. Gypsy Rose was granted parole in September 2023 and released in December 2023. So yeah, it's been, a while. Not a year yet, but enough time where it's like there should be some significant things kind of showing like, oh, wow, good for her. She's really turning into the person that, she should be. And I just feel like it's kind of like, I don't know if we're there yet. After Gypsy Rose's release, she and Anderson dealt with marital struggles ahead of their separation, as seen on the Lifetime Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup docuseries. Urker contacted former fiance, and that's Ken, Gypsy Rose, after she got out of the jail, to Anderson's dismay. And why would Ken reach out to her knowing that she's married to somebody else? Unless it's shown that she reached out to Ken, I'd be very curious, because right here they're kind of putting the blame on Ken. Gypsy Rose has denied that she ended her marriage to Anderson to be with Urker. I don't believe that for a minute. I think the second she could get some attention from Ken, she's like, yeah, she definitely was not over Ken. It was an insecurity that was there for a long time. I called Ken 2 weeks before I got married. Ken has consistently been brought up in a way that I could never let go of my feelings, but I put them on the back burner to do what was best for my marriage. See, and that's the thing. That's the problem right there. I put my feelings for Ken on the back burner so that I could, be better in my marriage. It's like, you can't put feelings for somebody on a back burner. You either have to get over him completely or you don't get married. So right there, I mean, that kind of shows you the immaturity level that she has in the way that she's handling conflict, in the way that she's handling problems, not in the most mature way, not in the most ideal way for people who are involved in her life. I mean, how is that fair to Ryan? How is that even fair to Ken? Like, I'm going to get married. Oh, don't worry. I'll just divorce him and we can be together. It's like baggage now. Not only are you, a convicted felon who's, served time, you have all this childhood trauma that I have to probably pick up and carry as well. But now there's an ex-husband, and I don't know. I don't know what Ken's thinking. I don't know much about him. Having that be a point of contention has been a thread throughout, but I didn't leave Ryan for Ken. That was just sort of a realization of, hey, we still love each other after the fact. And so here we go with rushing into a marriage just out of prison. And many people have said, oh, she just used him for a place to stay. Her parents her father and Christy had a place, and they told her, do not marry. Christy said, do not marry him, please. Stay with us, live with us. And she chose not to, so it's just, I don't know what she's thinking. And I don't think she knows what she's thinking is the other problem, which makes it a huge problem if you're going to add in a child. You don't have the luxury to be making poor life decisions once there's a child involved. Let's face it. You really don't. And it's not fair to the child that, okay, so you didn't overcome. I mean, let's talk about therapy. Is she going to therapy for things that for even not only the childhood trauma, but the trauma of hearing your mother be murdered? Have you been to therapy at all this year in 2024, Gypsy? Have you tried to overcome things to make yourself a better person without, just changing your nose and your teeth and your hair color? Have you really done the deep inner workings that you need to do? And I just don't think she has. And it's unfortunate that now you're going to be a mother who has all this trauma that you're carrying around and you're not getting over it. In my opinion, she's not. That was the end of the article. So let's pull up her video on her YouTube channel. And then I'll get back to the comments before we play this. Well, first, some people don't have Facebook. I'm not signed in, so it has this stupid thing at the bottom. But this is her announcement. This was an hour ago. Thank you for restoring my smile, but have given me a level of confidence I never knew possible. And here's the part of me that gets torn. It's like, I don't wish her ill will. I don't wish her not to be happy, but I just think that it's like she's living her life with rose-colored glasses on, and she needs to strip down and really do some inner workings. And I don't see that happening. And there's Ken. Sharing the happiest thing happened to my life. Can't wait for I think it's supposed to say angel, not angle. Being pregnant means every day is another day closer to meeting the love of my life. And that's the other problem. I don't know if people will agree. Some people have children to fill a void of love. And I just feel like that's not always the best environment to bring a child in, personally. I think that you should already know what love is. You should love yourself and know what love is because you've loved yourself and taken care of yourself. And then you bring a child into this world once you're complete. You don't look for this child to complete you. Some people might disagree. That's just my opinion. We just wish she wouldn't rub it in Ryan's face. Oh, poor Ryan. Yeah, it's getting rubbed. Ken looked so uncomfortable in those pics. My own free thinking opinion, and we appreciate all opinions. Her confidence is coming from external influences. Exactly. Yes. Cha-ching. I don't believe she's done much inner work on herself, in my opinion. I don't think so either. She has to go to the therapy. It's a parole stipulation. Okay. All right. That's good to know. That makes me feel better. I can kind of tone down the judgment a little bit. So that's good. I hope it's a good therapist. Christy pushed Ken to go back to Gypsy, in my opinion. Oh, people have said that too. She wasn't in love with Ryan. You can tell from her body language that she just was not into him, right? I agree there. It was like very short-lived where it was kind of like, oh, wow, she loves him. And then it was just kind of like, oh, I don't think she likes him much. Probably only what is mandated through her parole, just my opinion. Okay, yes, the therapy. Yeah, she needed to totally forget about him. Right. You can't just put feelings on the back burner. Thank you again, Melly, for gifting another membership. Welcome to the new member. Appreciate you, Melly. And make sure if you guys got that membership, she's in chat. So give her a little thank you. My husband reached out to me before I was separated from my ex, and my mom helped push it. And I'm extremely happy. I mean, it's like certain circumstances and scenarios, it works out, and that's great. She definitely was messing with Ken while still with Ryan. I could see that for sure keenly. I think that they had that. I mean, she was in prison when she was dating him. So I think that there was that like unfinished and unexplored territory with, sex, physical, that was never explored, or that chapter was never open and shut. So they opened it. She's morphing into her mother, an even more bold and brazen version. I've seen people say that as well. Yeah, I heard that she made a baby registry, and everybody brought up everything for her. So not being a hater, I need to make one because Roxanne wants me to make one on here. But, I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying, like, just hope she's not using this child for monetary gain. I don't know. Little bump showing. We are proud to announce we are expecting our first child. So first child insinuates like there's going to be more. So stay tuned. January 2025 announcement video on YouTube. Thank you to the photographer, blah, blah, blah. All right. So now we've seen her little Facebook announcement. We'll get over to the YouTube. I'm pregnant, my journey so far. And this has 446,000 views. The caption says, well, the rumors are true. Ken and I are so excited to start our family together, and I can't wait to share my journey with you here on YouTube and my other social media platforms. Thank you all for your support so far, and I can't wait to see our family grow. Gypsy, please bring up your child off social media. Don't exploit your child. Break the cycle. Who else came for the comments? First of all, you're still married and giving your ex leverage to take you to court, shaking my head. You are the last person that needs to be having a baby, for F's sake. And you just ended things with your husband. Look at all these exclamation points. The one you used to benefit while in jail. Lord, help that child, because she is not mentally stable for a baby. 63 likes. Remember, if y'all break up with you can't just ditch the kid like you did your dog. Oof. The first thing you do to put this baby first is get off the internet and live a quiet, humble, normal life. Do not raise this child in the public eye like your mother did with you. Do not place them under media microscope. Life is already going to be challenging for enough for them. I really do wish you all the best as you continue to heal, learn, and grow from the things you've experienced thus far in life. I just hope Gypsy gets intense mental health therapy before the baby gets here. Okay, so we're not the only ones kind of having these concerns. That has almost 3,000 likes. I feel like I'm watching a little girl giving a monologue in her bedroom mirror. Munchausen by proxy is a feature of narcissistic abuse, and she needs to be watched so damn close with this baby. I hope people realize that this isn't a train wreck to watch and give clicks to. This is real life, and the cycle will persist. I mean, I hope not. The quickest way to get rid of a narcissist is to ignore them. This is all moving entirely too fast. 2,000 views, and I agree, or 2,000 likes, and I agree. Announcing this pregnancy while still being legally married to another man was definitely a choice, right? We're going to stick together. We're not breaking because we are a family now. This girl trapped that man. Didn't I say that? I feel like she trapped Ken. I can't believe anyone believes this pregnancy was accidental. Girl, a baby does not make a man stay. Don't be foolish. I've accepted that I'm part of the problem. I clicked on the video just to read the comments, which ultimately gives her an extra view that she'll be making money off of. So that's the thing people don't understand. You don't get money from watching a video. You get money from watching the ads. But anyways, if she's looking for attention, I just gave it to her. Here's what I know now. She's just like her mother, using everyone to get what she wants. Now she's got her baby registry online and people already bought her everything on it. She adds more, they buy it. She's her mother's daughter, a user and a con artist. She almost sounds like a teenage girl. I'm telling you, she mentally is like 14 in my opinion. Reality is families do break up. A child does not make anyone stay, and she should be aware of those possibilities. Damn, she did Ryan so dirty. I mean, when you have unprotected sex, you can't say it was unexpected. Just do your little one a favor and get off social media and be a good mom. People, there are literal shelters full of mothers who actually need help. Why would you send money to her when she's worth millions and spent her whole life stealing from charities and frauding people? She's still grifting. Do you remember how angry and sad you felt when you thought about Dee Dee using you? Now you're doing it to a child who could grow up and give you the GG special instead. Oh dear. In just half a year, this woman has gotten married, plastic surgery, filed for divorce, hooked up with a different guy, gotten pregnant. She needs therapy, not a boyfriend and a baby. Ken left before he will leave again. A baby has never made a man stay, and he left you at the lowest point of your life, serving time in prison. I hate when people say it was unexpected. Girl, you literally were having unprotected sex. What the F did you think was going to happen? Gypsy, here's a thought. How about you take all those free gifts you got by posting your registry to public and donate it to parents and babies in need? You have the money to buy your baby all the things it will need. And there are parents like myself that can't afford a crib for my own baby right now. Removing this comment, since people have pointed out she dyed her hair again, I'm not trying to spread rumors, just think that she's a bit shady in the past, understatement, and wanted to point it out. Hope the baby is well cared for no matter who the parents are. We will face it together, but Ken dropped you because he didn't want to wait for you in prison. Why are you e-begging? You seem to have plenty of cash after lockup. Okay. I think you guys get the gist. Doesn't seem like there's many people in these comments. Welp, she added another 100 years to that generational trauma book. There's not many comments in here that are saying anything good. Hell to the no, she hasn't even healed herself. Ryan's or Ken's, because his timeline is a effing mess. Happy to announce that you've given Ryan proof of your infidelity. That'll be great for the divorce. Congrats. So I think you guys get the point of the comment section. That was crazy. Hey, Christina. And he may leave, but it's expected for her to go through many life situations very quickly that the rest of us went through at a different speed. Yes. She doesn't understand that everything that she says is going to be used against her in the divorce. She's such an idiot, right? It's true, though. Yeah, and sometimes you don't want the person to stay. It's like watching a train wreck. I can't stop looking. I know it. She's totally trapping Ken. I think she trapped Ken as well, and it's not going to last, in my opinion. Yep. Especially since it will be confusing for her mentally taking care of a baby when she wasn't taking care of property. It is scary. Yeah, correctly. It is scary. I agree. Gypsy's trapping Ken. And the thing too, though, is like, hey, Jen Lou, Ken is old enough to know like what happens when you have unprotected sex, right? So as much as like these comments and our opinions are saying like she trapped him, I do think that. I mean, I said that as soon as I found out she was pregnant, I was like, oh gosh, she's obsessed with this Ken guy, and now she's got him. And you know what's eerie too is I said the same thing. Like Dee Dee was 22 when she started dating Gypsy's father, who was 17. And then when they got married, Dee Dee was 23 and he was 18. But by then she was already pregnant. And I always said Dee Dee was like a predator because he was underage. Rod, her father. And I really feel like Dee Dee trapped him. And then he felt obligated to marry Dee Dee because he got her pregnant. And that's like, you know, like, especially in the South, that's the Southern way, you know, back in the early 80s or, you know, back in the day, whenever she was born in the 90s, it kind of like a generational thing. Like you marry the woman that you got pregnant. And that's what he did. I always felt like she kind of trapped him. And she never got over him. That was another thing that kind of came out was it. Yeah, this is going to be a whole dumpster fire. I know it. She never got over Rod even after they divorced. Yeah, I don't know. I hope we don't know. You're right, Jaded. You're absolutely right. Like I said, I don't wish her ill will. I have concerns. All right, let's watch this. It's 9 minutes long. We'll pause it for fair use purposes. I haven't watched it all the way yet, so it'll be like a real listen and react video.
Hi, everybody. So I know the rumors have been flying around for quite some time now, and I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant. Ken and I are expecting our very first child come January of 2025. We're both very excited. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected, but we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood. I have already experienced the symptoms when I first learned that I was pregnant. The first thing that I noticed was the cravings. So I craved orange juice. Orange juice was not something that like I craved on a daily basis before. So when I started craving orange juice, I'm like, okay, well, guess I just want orange juice. I didn't think anything of it. And so
it's probably because she needs folic acid. But there was something. Okay, yeah, Lily, fake baby voice. So that was something that Ryan recently came out saying. He's like, that's the way she talks. He's like, a lot of people think it's fake. And And he came out saying that that's just how she talks. I'm not saying that Ryan's correct and that this isn't fake, but I thought it was interesting that, like, even after they've had their falling out, he's still kind of sticking up for her. And that was a specific thing that he kind of was saying. He's like, it's not fake. That's really how her voice sounds. I don't know. That's what he said.
That was one thing. And then like the next thing that I noticed was like the hunger, like an insatiable hunger to just eat everything. So I really went on a binge and just started eating everything. And then of course I missed my period, and I didn't think anything of it because I had seen my OBGYN and I had tested my fertility, and she's like, we're probably gonna have to put you on fertility meds, or at least something to make you ovulate because you're not ovulating on a regular. So I'm like, okay. So I had that appointment was like a month out. And so when I missed my period, I thought I was just having issues with ovulation. And it wasn't until I had texted with Ken, and he's like, have you taken?
Okay, got to pause it right there. Who is this OB? I want to speak to them. No, but I don't know. How did the OB know that she wasn't ovulating? Because was her cycle like missing and stuff? I'm confused there. Jada says, I do think she knew what she was doing. Right. And what are fertility meds? Like what? Planned event. Who is she kidding? Right. Like she seeking out, like, I'm confused. I wish we had more information about all that. And hello, Scottish Queen. Yes, she wanted all this to happen, just like what happens to her mom. Happened to her mom, right? I don't know. Very weird. They can tell if you're ovulating, can't they? I don't know. I mean, I know that they can tell if you're on like a regular cycle, which I guess would mean like regular ovulation. I don't know. Very interesting. Yes. Some women take extra progesterone to get pregnant. Yes. That's true.
Taking a pregnancy test. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm pregnant. I don't think it's that. And then I had taken a test and it turned out positive. And so everything just made sense. But my pregnancy journey so far. So I have experienced crazy mood swings. Like poor Ken. If he breathes wrong, I am just like, pregnancy is not easy with the mood swings. And he's been very gracious about it. He's been very forgiving about it, but good Lord. We were driving in the car the other day, and this is before I got my hair done, so I did still have brown hair at this time. But I was listening to music, and a song came on the radio, and I just started crying. And I'm like, why am I crying right now? Like, oh my God, this song has never made me so emotional. And it was Let It Go or Let Her Go or something by Passenger. Good Lord. I was just in tears. I'm like, I cannot listen to this stuff. I can't do it. A lot of the other symptoms that I've been having is mild symptoms, everything that goes with pregnancy. Now, morning sickness, I've been actually very blessed to not have major morning sickness. That's been amazing. So far, pregnancy has been a breeze as far as symptoms. I find like the tiredness is starting to wear off a little bit. That was like the biggest symptom that I had saw with me, is that I'm always tired and sleepy. So that's been one thing that I've been dealing with. The rest is completely manageable. Like I said, Ken has been very forgiving to my symptoms. But the rest has been a breeze. And the baby looks healthy, happy. It's still going to be a long journey ahead, but I'm up for it. I know that there are going to be people that feel like I'm not ready to be a mother. And I don't know if anyone's really ready to become a mother. I don't know anybody that said, okay, I'm ready. I'm doing this, I think in my experience, everybody that I've ever talked to, they're like, it just happened. And so I feel
I don't know. She said everybody that I talked to say that it just happened. Like both my pregnancy were 100% planned. I know that a lot of them aren't. My brother was not planned. My husband's, every single sibling of his was planned. So it's like, okay, I don't know, guys. I'm looking at your guys' comments, cracking me up. She definitely sought prenatal counseling for difficult conceptions. She has the same info given to people seeking fertility counseling. Yes. She literally only knows mothers who make poor life choices. Yeah. Hey, yeah, let's unpack that. Good to see you. Okay, I'm home and kind of appalled. Hush, you sounds 12. I know it. I'm literally 13 weeks pregnant. It is not a breeze. Can't wait to get a little further along and start feeling better. Oh, I feel ya. I'm telling you, as soon as second trimester hit for me, it was like night and day. Like I feel so much better. I hope it happens for you as well. She scares the hell out of me. 2 of yours were planned or unplanned, Sherry? I mean, most people would wait until they were divorced, right? Right. And I feel like on top of that, most people would wait until, they're out of prison for at least a year. You would think she would want to get her life stable before adding a baby. I know it. Instead, she's using these men to help her get her life stable, and that's a problem. I got pregnant while on Depo. I'm outie of this convo. You're not the only one that I know that got pregnant on Depo or on birth control for that matter. So she wasn't so worried about ovulation when she took the morning after. Am I wrong? When did she take that? I don't know anything about her taking that. With Ryan? I think it's crazy that she had fertility meds and they're credible, wonderful people out there who want to be parents and they can't afford it. It's disgusting. Yeah, I'm sure she's on state insurance. Or is she on Ryan's insurance because she's married to him? I don't know. My brother wasn't planned. I was planned, but definitely not wanted. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank God my dad always made me feel loved. Aw, I miss my dad every day too. She really likes to talk about medical issues. She's an annoying, mean girl. I think medical issues are her go-to, like a comfortable topic. Yeah, there were like so many weird like rumors. Plus, she played games, even announcing the pregnancy. She lied and said she was hacked. Stop it, ma'am. Right. It's like, what can we believe from you? I had been on it for 10 years, huh? It was like, WTF is wrong. Yeah. That was probably a shock. With Ryan, she thought she could have been pregnant and took, oh. So Ryan knew that she takes the morning after pill with him. And then she gets with Ken and gets pregnant immediately. And then she tells Ryan about her being pregnant with Ken's child. Just another little dagger into his heart. Jeez. Us men are just pawns in a world of women used. Johnny, how come, whose was it the other night that we were discussing and you're like, the child's not mine? What did we discuss the other night? It was so funny. You're like, it's not mine. But yet you haven't come out denying this one, Johnny. Gosh, I can't even remember who we were discussing. Yeah, why does she need insurance? She has millions. Who knows? Who the heck knows? Johnny, you could be right.
Shift in myself. When I found out that I was pregnant, none of anything else mattered. The drama on social media, the feud between creator and
See, now she's like downplaying this feud with this other TikToker. Oh yeah, we did mention her pregnancy the other night and Johnny was like, not me. So now she's mentioning, oh, nothing else mattered. The drama and the feud with the creator. But that feud was within these 11 weeks. So you were behaving that way while you were pregnant. I don't know. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Who is she beefing with? Some other TikToker or something. I can't remember. Hey, Dustin. Did you hear the good news? Gypsy's pregnant.
me and all of that drama just all faded. It didn't matter anymore. All that matters is making sure that I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, my relationship with Ken is healthy, and we are moving forward in a positive way. It's an amazing feeling when your whole world shifts. And suddenly it's not about you. It's not about anything other than the tiny little life that's inside you.
So this is a listen and react. I have to give you my opinion based on just watching this now. Sometimes I feel differently when I watch something more than once, but right now off the bat, you know what this is like reminding me of? Remember that clip of her with her mother after they got their house all put together and they were on media and she was like, fairy tales really do come true. And it was just that like scripted fake like face and inflection in her voice and of excitement and just like the body language and the facial expressions. Like I'm feeling like this is just like she's just mimicking what she should be saying and looking like. I don't know. That's just my feeling right now watching this. Yes, ATS nailed it. It's over the top. You guys get what I'm saying a little bit? Someone give me a bucket, please. She is hard to listen to. She is so fake. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're talking about this. I can't deal with Jip Jip. I felt icky right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I hate that like I'm feeling that way. Oh my gosh. And like honestly, I'm always the first to say, but it wasn't her that killed the mother. It was her boyfriend. But it's just it all bleeds together now for me. I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's an act. It seems like it. And she keeps, I know I hate feeling this way too, but it's just my feeling watching this. She keeps like, I don't know. Let me watch a little more of this. It's semantics, isn't it though? It is. It is. But I've always just been the one to say like he could have said no. He didn't have to kill her mother, which I still feel that way. But I just am feeling like more and more it's showing how calculated and manipulative she is even after all this time. And she's only going to be that way because of the way that she's been conditioned and raised. But you would think that prison would have like reprogrammed her or like changed her, or I don't know. Don't forget to feel sorry for me. Yeah, her little act. I don't know. I feel like if she's out of, the Mendez brothers deserve to be out. I need to, that needs to be retried, although it was already, right? All right, let's watch a little more of this. They were abused as well. Yes. Very true. Nick said he only stabbed her 4 times. Who did the rest? A lot of people have come out saying that as well. I just don't know. I see her true colors shining through. Yeah, you're the song. I don't know. I get what happened to her, but she's done absolutely nothing to change. She's actually worse. It's like a spiral that we're just watching nonstop now. They've served their time, in my opinion. They were abused. The Mendez brothers, yes. And I feel that way about Gypsy as well. But like you guys have stated in chat, and I think you guys agree, that it just doesn't seem like she's taken the proper steps yet, in my opinion. All right, guys, and hello B Crumbs and everyone else who's joined. Let's continue.
That you are now in charge of protecting, and that little tiny life is a baby, a little tiny human that's yours, and that you have to make sure that you protect, you love, you take care of, and all of the things that I wished I could have had when I was little.
See, I felt like that sentence was true. Like this right here out of her, this is where I said that this pregnancy and her becoming a mom is either going to make her or break her. We're either going to see this train wreck get worse and worse and then see her exploit this child, or I think there could be some part of her here that is acknowledging what some of us, I think, have acknowledged with our own parents. Like, I want to give my child better than what my parents gave me. So I hope that that's what she's feeling here. And as she's expressing it, I hope it's not just this act. I really do feel like she has the potential to give her child the life her mother should have given her. I mean, let's face it, she was abused, in my opinion. So, and Christina says, and I hope CPS watches her like a hawk. And let's face it, has CPS even intervened in certain cases that they did know about abuse going on? No, they haven't. It's just, I think, not only CPS, but the public scrutiny on Gypsy. So many people are saying, please don't exploit your child. Please don't let them be on social media. Get off social media. Get off social. How are we going to know that this child is safe? In a way. A condition of her parole should have been no social media. She wants attention, and literally her whole baby registry sold out in a few hours. Things are just handed to her and doesn't care to earn it. That's not a lie.
Here I am getting emotional, guys. Sorry.
And this is where I asked Johnny, because he's, what were we watching that one live? And he's like, I don't see any wet tears. I don't see any wet tears here, Johnny and everyone. I mean, that was a moment where she could have really shown real emotion and been like, I want to give my child what this mother didn't, or my mother didn't give me. Instead, it's turned into this like, oh, here I am getting emotional, guys. Oh, no wet tears, no tissue nearby. Didn't stop the camera, and you don't see like an edit, like anything getting edited. She's an actor. Who called the tears? What is she wiping away? No, she isn't. She wiped invisible tears the whole time. Wild to think about how they literally took her mom's life in a brutal fashion. Yeah, I mean, we're not even just talking about, a quick death. I believe that is true, but she wants the baby to have a dad more than being a mom, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, yes, Tony. I think she wants to keep Ken more than she wants to be a mother. And that's how she was raised. She asked and she got it. That is so true. And that's the thing. It's like, we're not wrong by saying everything that she's gotten has been handed to her and she hasn't worked for it. But it's also not wrong what Jordan just said. And it's like, but that's how she was raised. And it's like, you can look at that and say like, oh, that's terrible. Or you can look at it and have like a little bit of empathy. Like, what more would she know? And I'm always stuck with Gypsy between disgust and, well, look how she was raised. You know what I mean? She should do some volunteer work. I think that would be good, even just for like public image as well as like personal life discovery. Because so many people are just like, she should give money to all the charities they stole. Plus, look how she did Ryan. Yeah, I mean, she uses what she can and then she kind of dumps him to the wayside. Liar. Yeah, that's the thing, guys, is like there's people like Jaded and myself who I think are torn. And somebody in my Facebook group, when I shared this link, they were like, I'm so disgusted with her, blah, blah, blah. She needs to go away. And I basically like said back, like, I think the differences in opinions just about her makes it all like, you can't look away. Yeah, very torn. Very torn. I was rooting for her when she was released, but then she got on social media. Yes. I have like 15% empathy. The older she gets, the less changes she makes, the less accountability she takes, the less I have. And that's fair. Whatever she's doing, the media eats it up, right? So Kimberly, we were kind of discussing that earlier, and they brought up a good point in chat that like a lot of parole stipulations are to go to therapy. So we're kind of under the assumption that it might be like a stipulation, but we don't have 100% confirmation that that's taking place. But people are under the impression that it is part of her parole. So, we're hope for the best. But we are expecting the worst. I feel like that's where I'm at with this. Like, I hope for the best for her and this child. But if something takes place where it's a shock, I think we're all going to be like, okay, I think we saw this coming. She's on her second therapist. Okay. I hope the second one is better than the first. I will give her a chance. We will see. Right. Okay, so she said that on the TV show. Okay. Yeah, and prepare for the worst. And watching her show and her TikToks, yes. Because at some point, you have to take what happened and decide to break the cycle, especially now that she's got a child on the way. Yes. And this goes back to this whole, like, her being a mother is either going to make her or break her. Like it does for a lot of women. So she got an amazing second chance and thinks everything is a game. I don't think she realizes how lucky she got, like with her plea deal. Is it true that Ryan's name will be on the birth certificate until DNA is done? Oh my word. Because of her name being that? I don't think so, because before we were married, I put my husband's last name as my daughter's name before we were like legally married. Like you can pick on the birth certificate. So I don't know why she would pick his name. Maybe because it's her legal name right now, but I don't know. Do you know this is saying, look, you can go off your mom, go to prison, and become a star too? Sad. We will see. Yeah, that's the thing is what people are concerned about. Like she gives off the false impression that like you can kill one of your parents and then go to jail for a little bit of time and then come out and you're a TikTok star. A lot of people are under that like scrutiny of like, this isn't right. ATS, great to see this live because I've been torn. Doesn't matter. You go through tons of therapists until you find the right match. Yes. Hey, Seth, good to see you. I'm curious your thoughts on Gypsy being pregnant. I always like your input. I hope she can prove us wrong and be a wonderful mother. Me too. I mean, let's face it. Is anyone in here wishing her the worst and the child the worst? I don't think so. I think there's people who are disgusted by her, and that's totally fair. But this child is not part of the mess, right? Like it's being brought into the mess. I don't do TikTok because it's a dumpster fire circus over there. I know. I have one. I never really use it actually. If people message me on there, which I see messages and I don't open them, like please don't take them personal. I just never really go on there. Seth says, I'm afraid of her pregnant, right? These hormones. All right, let's watch a little more of this. Is she holding a tear in her hand right there? She's like, is it there? Can you see it?
All the things that I wanted in a mother, I want to give to this baby. Knowing that I am a mother now. And I'm happy. And I just want to be a good mother for my child. I want to be everything my mother wasn't. Ken and I had a wonderful talk about the future for him and I. And we both agree that we both grew up in broken homes. I grew up without a father pretty much. And he grew up in a family where, his parents got divorced. And I think we both agree that neither one of us wants our child to be in that kind of a situation. With that being said, it doesn't matter what we go through, him and I. Whatever we face, we'll face it together. Because we have a baby now. We have something that's bigger than either one of us.
I'm sorry, but this also just sounds very like juvenile. Like if you guys have ever like, if you can remember back to when you were in high school or junior high, when you date someone and you like have this conversation, like let's promise to always be together. Let's promise like once we're old enough to get married, it's going to be us. This is what that sounds like. It sounds like she had this like discussion with Ken, like, and then she just reiterated sort of what we're saying when she just said, and now that we have this child on the way, like she's using the child in her conversations with Ken to kind of make sure that he like promises like we're going to get through it no matter what. And it's like very childish, manipulative, and like using the child as leverage in your relationship, if that makes sense. That part is not her fault. Her being kind of immature, you mean? Like a teenager who ran away from home. It's wishful thinking. Exactly. She's trying to live that Disney movie unrealistic life. She's still in that fairy tale state of mind. No, the strabismus. What's that? Oh, the eyebrow. No, yeah. No, I'm not. Anyone who's like talking about her like cross-eyed or whatever, like, there's other things to criticize besides her looks, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That's what you meant. Okay, yeah. But I agree with what you guys are saying about like her living this fantasy. And that I think it's carried on from her childhood still. It never went away, even her in prison. This whole like picture in her mind of what life she wants, and it's going to be grand and beautiful and stuff. It's like at this point in her life, she's in her early 30s, like she should be prepared for the worst. Like the worst things are going to happen in your life. You just have to embrace the good and the bad, but it just seems like she had this conversation with Ken, like, we're going to be together forever, blah, blah, blah. And especially now that we have this child, it's like,
So whatever comes our way, whatever arguments we have, whatever drama gets thrown at us on social media, we're going to stick together. We're not breaking because we are a family now. And as unconventional as this relationship and this child may have came from, I couldn't be happier. And
I do think that that's true. Like, she is the happiest she's probably ever been. And it has a lot to do with she got Ken right where she wants him. And now she's going to have a child with him. And now they've had this conversation off camera that we have a child, we have a family to keep together. So she's feeling secure in her relationship. And he could walk away. And then what's she going to do? She would hit rock bottom, I think. And by then, what? There's a child around. She's going through postpartum hormones. Like it could turn very, very badly. Johnny said, poor guy, we should get a collection going to save that poor man from Gypsy. Too late. There's no escaping her now. I'd be afraid to have her as a mom. The timeline is just as an educated guess. It is not science, but the DNA test is right. It's going to be crazy if it comes out being Ryan's. She made a comment comparing her big boobs to her sisters in the documentary to Ryan. Interesting. Yes, there is, Donna. I experienced postpartum OCD and postpartum anxiety. I never had the depression. Like, I know what depression is. Never experienced that, but I was just like the OCD and the anxiety for sure. And they're saying that symptoms from postpartum can last up to 2 years. So she's not even out of the clear with hormone changes and just life changes, until the 2-year mark, really. Mighty Malt, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Louisiana law turns Ryan into a cuckold for Ken's baby. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of like different state like stipulations. So his name will be on the birth certificate. What if the divorce is final before the baby comes? Seth says, I bet it's Ryan's. And thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. That is so messed up. And he's so sorry. Someone made fun of your child's eyes. That breaks my heart. So sorry. Hey, Carol freaking Claus. Good to see you. There will be another guy to come along and take care of her. Especially now that she's getting more and more fame, right? There'll be more opportunists. Didn't she have a nose job? She must have been pregnant. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I can't remember when the nose job was, but allegedly she got pregnant in April. And the divorce filing in April. People are saying it, but it's Ryan's. She had her nose job 13 weeks ago. Okay, so people have kind of already like calculated this stuff. Yeah, and she did teeth implants, which good for her, honestly, because that was just horrible what happened to her teeth. She abandoned that poor pupper that her and Ryan purchased, a baby. Yeah, it's not a good look. Thank you, Seth. Yes, going well so far. Still trucking along. I think I am close to 24 weeks. Let me check my little pregnancy app. Ryan is still legally considered the father for 300 days past his divorce finalization. What? Man, Louisiana is crazy. 16 weeks to go, 24 months, or yeah, 24 months. Can you imagine? 24 weeks and 1 day I am. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's Ryan's up to 300 days after the divorce. I would love to see Ryan's response. We're going to go to his TikTok after this, but he hasn't posted an updated video since this pregnancy has been announced. You guys are really hung up on this cleavage. I know someone whose divorce took 12 years. Oh. Her lawyers will work it out, right? I don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl for Gypsy. That's hard to predict without her kind of explaining more. She said she felt some sick symptoms of like craving orange juice. I feel like, and you guys let me know your experience, most women, hey Justice Jane, are more sick with girls. I want Ryan to be so petty. Yes, Jaded, I am pregnant. Oh, yes, that's right. You are due in January. That's my daughter's birthday is January. Yes, I'm the same way, Jaded, ever since I was in like 6th grade. Unfortunately. You guys are hilarious in these comments. All right, hold on. Let's watch this. Couple minutes, less than a minute left.
This is a blessing. I found my freedom in a way that I never expected. And I'm okay with that. Everything that has ever happened to me in my life suddenly doesn't matter. Because it all led me to be who I am today. And it all led me to this moment right here, right now. And that's a blessing. To say that I made it. That's a success story.
All right. Well, overall, feel like that was on and off with genuineness. Just my opinion. says a blessing. Lord help us. All right. Let's see. All right. Let me just share Ryan's TikTok. So she allegedly, from the article we read, told him as soon as she found out she was pregnant. So when we're watching his latest video, which was a couple, I don't know, maybe a week ago, he knows about it. Oh my gosh, Jaded. Yes, it's terrible. In Florida, you cannot have a divorce finalized until after the divorce or after the birth. The father must sign an affidavit in acknowledgement unless DNA is demanded. What the? Ryan's letting the lawyers do the talking. That's wise. All right, let's see what he had to say. Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
Thoughts. I did my first live. Hey guys, just sitting around and
This was on June 27th. So he knows at this point that she's pregnant. According to that article, she told him right away. Oh, thank you, Mayla's mom. I appreciate that. Ryan should be the next bachelor. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people rooting for him. Not Gypsy, though. Paternity, if he institutes a disavowal action within a permissive period of 1 year from the day that judgment of disavowal obtained by the first husband is final and definitive. If the first husband or the successor obtains a judgment of disavowal of paternity of the child, the second husband is presumed to be the father. The second husband or his successor may disavow one paternity if he institutes a disavowal action within a permissive period of 1 year. Yeah, this is all like, I don't get it. No, I definitely see that it's different than New York State. That's for sure. Jada said, I'm kind of sick of Ryan. So many people are like, he's annoying. I get why she was annoyed with him. He's controlling, blah, blah, blah. I still feel bad for him. Hi, hippie chick. I feel bad for him, but he's better off, right? He really is. Okay, so let's see what he had to say here, and then we'll call it a day.
got a couple random thoughts. I did my first live today, and it was cool. I enjoyed that. But that being said, guys, it's very difficult for me to stay respectful. Okay, I'm getting to the point where I'm about to not be respectful. Okay. Yes, I did text Gypsy during her live with Ken tonight. But Ken, don't let her fool you. She called me last Saturday talking about she missed me, and of course I miss you. And she said a lot of other things too. But I'm not going to go there because I want to.
Okay. I'm not going to go there, but he just goes there and says it anyways. Yeah, it's his microphone, Johnny. I've turned it up all the way. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, wait, what?
Okay. Hey, guys, just sitting around and got a couple random thoughts. I did my first live today, and it was cool. I enjoyed that. But that being said, guys, it's very difficult for me to stay respectful. Okay. I'm getting to the point where I'm about to not be respectful. Okay. Yes, I did text Gypsy during her live with Ken tonight. But Ken, don't let her fool you. She called me last Saturday talking about she missed me, and of course I miss you. And she said a lot of other things too. But I'm not going to go there because I want to be respectful. And it's funny, she doesn't text me back to be respectful to her boyfriend, Ken, but she had no respect for her husband, Ryan. And it's funny, Ken sitting there, you do you. You believe that? You really believe that she's being respectful? Okay. I got receipts too, babe. So we can go there. And plus, yeah, we'll let the lawyers handle it from now on. We'll let the lawyers handle it. And believe me, they will handle it. Take it easy. Hey guys, just sitting around
Oh dear. See, it makes me wonder. Okay, so when he said she called me and she was telling me that she missed me and a bunch of other stuff too, but I'm not going to go there. I wonder if she is now sort of realizing, like, great, so my infidelity could come back to bite me in the butt. I don't want him to, take everything from me. So I want to manipulate him, excuse me, and keep him under my thumb a little bit. So let me tell him I miss him and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just saying, if she's as manipulative as people try to say she is, I'm not saying she is. I just wonder if she really did say, like, oh, I miss you and a bunch of other stuff that he says he's not going to go there for. Is she trying to, like, keep things amicable between her and Ken so that he doesn't take her for everything she's worth? Or, I don't know. I don't know how the divorce is going to go in their state, or what can, be done as far as her announcing this pregnancy with Ken while she's still married to Ryan. I really don't know, but it's going to be something to watch. I think he said it to make Ken worry. So do you think that she even said it at all, or you think he just made that up? I think she really genuinely does miss him. She said her heart belonged to two men, so Ken has to deal with that too. Oof. He's scared. She definitely is. You agree? She might be a little. Interesting timing. Gypsy, she's playing both of them guys. Definitely could be. Roxanne is on her way out. So everyone say goodnight to Roxanne. I guess that means we got to conclude. No, I'm just kidding. Now we're done anyways, guys. Lots of stuff to keep following. Mighty is on Team Ryan. She would get pregnant on purpose. That's sort of what we're kind of thinking this kind of went. I don't know much about this guy. He seems very insecure, Kimberly says. I don't know how you cover this while you're pregnant. I hope you get some good sleep. This, honestly, covering Gypsy is a breeze compared to covering Stephen Stearns, Chris Watts, and what other cases are we covering? Geez. Which reminds me, I think we're going to do a Stephen Stearns document read through tomorrow night live. And then we'll kind of decompress over the weekend, come back Monday with the Idaho 4, read through part 2 of that Howard Bloom book. So, join me here tomorrow night and we'll go through Madeline Soto's case, the documents. It's been a minute since we've kind of talked about that. And we're going to still follow all this Gypsy stuff because this is just the beginning. We kind of put Gypsy down for a minute after she got out. We talked about her. I sat back, wanted to watch her, adjust, and we've seen her adjust. And now there's a baby that's going to be involved. And I think that we kind of want to make sure that everything's going to be okay for that child. So we're going to keep following this. But yeah, we'll talk very soon, guys. Join me, like I said, here tomorrow night. And yeah, we'll talk about other things, and we'll keep your hooked on justice for Micah. Is there any new developments with the FBI being involved? I haven't Googled it in a while, but I haven't seen anything new come up. And we talked about Micah here on numerous live streams, but then the last thing we heard was FBI is getting involved, and then we haven't heard anything. So I need more information from the authorities there. Gypsy is still fraud, in my opinion, and that's totally fair. All right. Bye-bye, guys. So a church member has been arrested? Okay, I need to look into that, and I will, especially over the weekend and stuff, guys. All right. Thank you, everyone. Moderators, thank you so much. People who donated, thank you so much. Even if it was a super chat or a membership, You guys are greatly appreciated, even if you just donate a like for the like button. Thank you so much, Cindy and everyone else. You guys have a wonderful night. Yeah, the Micah's still, and that's the thing is like, the FBI is quiet. I want to know more. I want the authorities to kind of give us more with an investigation, you know. All right, guys. And again, everyone has different opinions on Gypsy, which is why I'm kind of drawn to this, because there's ones that are totally on this side that are like, oh, you know, I hate her, blah, blah. Then there's ones that empathize. And for me, I'm like right in the middle, very much torn. So it's interesting for me to even battle my own like opinions on Gypsy. So I don't think she's going away anytime soon. All right, guys. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Join me here. My battery on my laptop's about to die. So good night, guys.